To set this series off, we are starting with a game series that I absolutely love, which is Kingdom Hearts, and the game is Kingdom Hearts 3. Prior to this, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 since it launched back in 2019, so it was great to play this game again. What wasn't great, however, was some of the grinding that I had to do, but more on that later. Before we get into the trophies though, could you please press both like and subscribe? Both are greatly appreciated. Our first trophy is called A New Journey, which is pretty simplistic to get. You just need to start the game, go through the tutorial, and basically fight the first small boss, and it's done. Hey, our new trophy, A New Journey. Haven't really had to do much. Shortly after this, you enter the first world, and you get a chance to use an attraction. Use that attraction and you get your next trophy, which is called Tall Enough to Ride, which you simply just need to defeat an enemy with that attraction. From here, you continue on through Olympus to get the Clash of the Gods trophy. And that's Olympus finished. So we got Clash of the Gods, Adventure through Olympus, complete the story. From the next 9 trophies, 6 of them were just completing the worlds. First up was A Wish at Twilight, which was just to adventure through Twilight Town and complete the story. Hey, another one, A Wish at Twilight. So that is now Twilight Town done. Move on to the next location. A short time later, I used a link to defeat enemies for the first time, which gave me the Heartbound trophy. Hey, another one, use a link to destroy enemies for the first time, that's not too bad. Next up, I completed the toy box for the Inseparable Fence trophy, and then a short time later I defeated a total of 1000 enemies for the Knight trophy. Now it was time to make quite a bit of progress through the story, so first up was Happily Ever After, and I got that for completing Kingdom of Corona. Then it was The Power of Laughter for completing Monstropolis, then An Act of True Love for completing Arendelle, and then A Way of the Pirate for completing the Caribbean. Next up, we just got Grand Mage, which was just to cast Grand Magic for the first time, pretty simplistic. Then I went and completed one of the final story trophies, which was Making a Difference for completing San Francisco. And now we're in the endgame of the story. As we enter the next area, I gathered the 7 Guardians of Light to get the Hearts Joined to His trophy. We then reunited with Kyrene to get the No Matter What trophy. To finish the main story up, I began the final confrontation with Master Xehanort for the Battle to End All trophy, and by completing that and viewing the ending, we got another chapter closed trophy done. There was only one more area that I needed to finish up all the story trophies, and that was the 100 Acre Wood to get the Home Again trophy. Now that I've completed all of the story, it's time to go back through every single area to collect all of the items and photograph all of the lucky emblems. This is where the grind truly began. But first I took a quick picture to get the Say Cheese trophy. I then defeated a couple more enemies, which took me to 3000 enemies defeated, giving me the Bishop trophy. While getting the lucky emblem pictures in Kingdom of Corona, I took part in the Festive Dance and got over 70,000 points, which then gave me the Festive Dancer trophy. After capturing a couple more pictures of lucky emblems, I received the Lasting Memories trophy for holding on to 50 photos. Then after visiting a couple more locations, snapping a couple more photos, I completed the lucky emblem section of the Gummy Phone to receive the Hidden Kings trophy. Next up was the treasure section of the Gummy Phone. Thankfully, as I was collecting the treasures as well as the lucky emblems, I pretty much didn't have that much to do, so it only took me 20 minutes after getting the Hidden Kings trophy for me to get the last of the treasure to receive the No Stones Unturned trophy. I thought I had finished taking photos for a while, but I was wrong. This time, however, I had to take some pictures of the constellations. Thankfully, this trophy was quick and easy to do, and I quickly earned the Stargazer trophy. While travelling around to work on the next trophy, Flanmeister, I realised that I had enough ingredients to fully level up a Keyblade, which gave me the Blade Master trophy. Shortly after this, I finished the last mission for Flanmeister trophy. However, at the time, I didn't know that I'd have to come back to these missions anyway to get a high score to work on something that was completely separate. At this point, I looked at the trophy list to decide what I should go for next, and I decided to do some of the mini games and also defeat a boss in the second galaxy. I started with getting 12 million points in Verum Rex Beats of Lead to get the Centurion trophy. I then took some time to get a better gummy ship to take on the boss in the second galaxy, because that boss was quite difficult to say the least. It took a couple of attempts, but I finally got there and destroyed Schwarzgeist, I believe the name is, to get the Thermosphere trophy. After entering back into the galaxy after beating that boss, I got into my new gummy ship and collected the remaining unique treasures to earn the Salvager trophy. Next up, I took on a couple more of the mini games. First up was the Shield Shredder trophy, where I needed to get 600,000 points in Frozen Slider, and then Data Scraper by getting an A rank on both of the Flash Tracer courses. The next trophy I was looking at was to get Know Thine Enemy, which was to complete the adversary section of the Gummy Phone. While I had the large majority of this completed, there were a few stragglers that I needed to defeat. However, there was an issue. The final enemy that I needed to defeat was horrible. No matter what I did, I couldn't beat it. So I left, went and got the Ultima Keyblade, also getting the Ultima trophy in the progress, but that still wasn't enough. Thankfully, after acquiring the Ultima Keyblade, it only took me a couple more attempts to finally defeat that boss. After defeating that boss, I went back to Twilight Town and defeated the last of the adversaries to get the trophy Know Thine Enemy. From here, I have 12 trophies left that I needed to collect, and some of the grindy parts were still to come. First up though, not really a grindy part, I decided to treat myself to some food. While this would have been a perfect transition to a sponsor, this is not one. I decided to finally work on the cuisine part of the game. The trophies specifically are Cornucopia, Full Course, and MasterChef. Cornucopia required us to collect every type of ingredient. Full Course needed us to earn our first Excellent while preparing a cuisine, and finally MasterChef wants us to earn an Excellent while preparing every type of cuisine. Cornucopia wasn't too difficult and I picked up that trophy fairly quickly. Next up was Full Course, and that took me a while purely because I had no idea what I was doing when preparing the food and when to watch out for certain clues to get Excellent. After failing several of the cuisines, I had to go back out and collect more ingredients so I could finally come back and earn myself Master Chef. After going through all of the stress of getting the cuisines at Excellent, I rewarded myself with a break by getting 2 trophies called Muscle Memory and Classically Trained. Some of the items in the game that you can collect are called Classic Kingdom games. Basically, I am playing a video game inside of another video game. Thankfully, as I had already collected all of the treasures, I had already collected all of the classic games. I simply had to go in and set a score. The great thing about this was I didn't have to hit a certain amount of points. I could simply go in, get 1 point, lose all of my lives, and then go back out and be placed first. And that's what I did. First up was Muscle Memory, where I simply had to go in and set a new high score on any of the games. Then Classically Trained needed me to go in and set a high score in every single game. You can basically get this done in about 30 minutes. From here I had 7 trophies left. 6 if you don't count the platinum. I started with the easiest first, which was True Captain, where I had to sink 200 enemy ships in the Caribbean, and then Dreadnought, which was to fully power up my ship called the Leviathan. The next easiest was to complete one for the books. For this, I had to complete the game record section of the Gummy Phone. While the majority of this had already been completed thanks to the story and also finishing all of the mini games, the only thing I had to do was use one of the links and then go through each of the Keyblades and use their abilities. This was done fairly quickly as I went to the toy box ground floor and defeated the enemies that had spawned in. We are now at the final 3 trophies. And alone, these 3 trophies took me 4 hours total to complete. The only reason I managed to get 2 of them is because I was going for the 3rd one. These trophies are Rook, Leveled Out, and Synthesis. Synthesis required me to complete the Synthesis section of the Gummy Phone, and this required me to go and defeat a lot more enemies and blow up a lot more rocks in the galaxy. While defeating the enemies, I got Rook, which needed me to defeat 5,000 enemies in total. And then 2 hours later, after I was still trying to get all of the items I needed for Synthesis, I got Leveled Out, which was to get Sora to level 99. And then finally, after a lot of grinding, a lot more defeating enemies, and a lot of blowing up rocks in space, I finally got the final trophy, Synthesis. Okay, we're about to synthesize our last item for our last trophy. Size items. Armor should just be here. There it is, the Cosmic Chain. Synthesize. Synthesis has been collected. There we go. Kingdom Hearts 3 Complete Master. We have unlocked all Trophies. I got my first trophy on the 26th of December at 9 PM and I got my final trophy on the 31st of December at 3:30 AM. I was determined to get this trophy before the end of the year and I did just that. For my in-game time, the trophy took me 46 hours and 58 minutes and it was a great time.